Hey everybody, sorry I know I'm starting a few minutes later than I said I would. I realized I had all these documents that I wanted to bring up on my computer and have ready for you because today we are talking about the Epiphany Bridge script, which I think is a brilliant tool. I really didn't know very much about sales at all before I did the One Funnel Away challenge, and that's because I kind of had a block around it. I was a writer and I thought of myself as a creative type and I was a marketer. But sales was always like this other department, and they were like these super extroverts who would go out and just like work their mojo and work their magic and like convince people to give up their money. And I always felt like that's not me. I remember, my first experience with sales as a little kid was going door to door trying to get people to like either buy Girl Scout cookies for me or sign up for the March of Dimes challenge. And it was or walkathon, and it was so painful for me because I was super shy. I was an introvert, and just the act of knocking on people's doors like took all the courage that I had. So in my mind, like that's sales, and that's the level of discomfort that it gives me. And so I completely understand people's like hesitations around it and blocks around doing it, and feeling like, I'm just a product owner. I'm not a salesperson. But really, if you are creating a product and putting it out there in the world, then there's no better person to sell it than you. So learning how to do this well is something we can all do. You don't have to be an extrovert. You can sell just using your sales letter script in your funnel. You can sell using a video that you pre-record. You don't have to make it really scary and go live and get in people's faces and call them on the phone. But yeah, just, one other thing about sales, when I had a digital agency, we never really had a customer pipeline. Like we would get a lot of word of mouth referrals, which was fantastic. But then at some point those always dry up. And I really knew nothing, and I hadn't studied anything about how to get clients. So it was really when I started looking into that and I discovered John Bookin and his cold email templates that I started understanding it, and I started using his tactics and started to see how it works. And you can be yourself. You don't have to like try on some persona that feels weird and icky to you. You can do it in your own voice. And that's kind of what the Epiphany Bridge script is all about. So another thing I want to mention is the Epiphany Bridge script. There's a whole chapter on it in Expert Secrets, as Russell talks about in his video today. And I have a document that is in the unit called Getting Started with the OFA Challenge, where you can get the audio version of this for free. So I'm passing that on to you because somebody in a previous challenge created this document, told everyone in the group that they could have it. He, generously put his own Expert Secrets audio link in there. So if you go into units, scroll down to a spreadsheet called videos and resources, you can get it for yourself. You can get the whole entire book, Expert Secrets, on audio. You don't have to go buy it. You don't have to buy the hardcover or paperback. I want you guys to have it. It's like, yeah, I could tell you to go buy it using my affiliate link, but that's not gonna, like, I want to just help you get started with it right now. Like, that's not going to help you today, and you need this today. So yes, the Epiphany Bridge is in there. I'm actually going to bring up my photo of it just so we can have like kind of a visual to look at while I'm talking you through this. And another thing I want to do on this live is funnel scripts, because it has everything. Also has a script for the Epiphany Bridge. So I thought what we could do on this live is actually create one together using the funnel scripts. Because I could, just go over the one I created when I wrote my origin story for my copywriting funnel, but I feel like I'm always talking about things I did in the past, and it would be fun to do something in real time with you guys. So that's my plan. Okay, just wanted to bring up that image so we have something to look at. The Epiphany Bridge script. So, another thing I wanted to mention, kind of housekeeping wise, is another thing I have, I believe it's in the same Getting Started in the OFA unit in this group is there's a copy of the Epiphany Bridge script in an Excel sheet. And I think that's useful because I just copied this from Steve Larson when he went through it on his live call. And it just helps you when you're sitting down to write this. So actually, let me show you that real quick on my screen. Go to that tab. Yeah, okay, so this is the script itself. You can use this document right now to plan this if you haven't started on this yet, because this is your homework today. So the backstory, internal desire is what you wanted to happen. External desire is how you wanted like the world to perceive you, what the wall you hit was, then the epiphany that you had, then your plan for what you were going to do with that epiphany, the conflict you came across when you started, and then your transformation. So I had a few things. I'll just show you like when I created my epiphany script, what I filled out here. I need to share a different screen for that. I like the ScreenYard allows you to either show an entire window or like a specific Chrome tab. I don't know of other tools that let you do that. Okay, so here's my Epiphany Bridge script that I filled out. This is the one at the top here is the one I used when I told my origin story for my copywriting funnel and what led me to create my funnel/launch copywriting business. So my backstory was that I had a business for 5 years and I hated it. So that was my digital agency. My internal desire was I felt like I was desperate to succeed. I didn't really succeed with the digital agency other than like I kept myself employed for 5 years, but I didn't scale it. And I found that I didn't want to scale it. So I still had that internal desire of like, I want to be a success in an area that uses my core skills. External desires, I wanted to be seen by other people as successful and to be an influencer. So people already know that I'm an entrepreneur, but I'm not one that has like that amazing, huge success story. Like I'm still building toward that like all of you. So that's why in this group, I really try to document my own process and share what I've learned along the way as I get there. So the wall that I hit is that I was drowning in debt. So it's always harder to be self-employed and manage a business when you have a lot of debt. Like if you're like I've always had a tight cash flow since I've been an entrepreneur because I've accumulated debt. So I need to bring in a lot more money every month than someone would who was just paying the bills and didn't have to worry about debt. So, you know, launching a successful business is going to help me get out of debt faster. And we've seen plenty of people in the ClickFunnels world do this, like Doug Botten, who went from negative $440 in his bank to completely paying off his student loan debt. So these stories are real and they happen all the time and they're inspiring. That Doug story definitely inspires me. So then my epiphany was that through the One Funnel Away Challenge, I learned that I can build a funnel for everything that I want to offer. So I can build a funnel that sells my launch copy packages. That's where I write all parts of a launch, all the copy for all parts of a launch for an entrepreneur who's launching something high ticket, who doesn't have time, or maybe they don't have the ability or inclination to write their own copy, but it's a very, very important piece of a launch is having good copy. So my plan, you know, in order to get to the next step with my business is to niche down on one skill, because that's something I never did with a digital agency. I was still trying to do everything. My conflict is that you know, when I started this, I was kind of broke. You know, I was, because of the debt and because of like needing to make a certain amount of money to pay the bills every month and being in the process of building a business, I was kind of like making just enough to get by without building capital. So my transformation was I joined the One Funnel Away Challenge and actually went through it full on and did everything Russell told me to do. Excuse me. And so then after that, one of my first achievements was I started successfully selling on Funnel Rolodex. Of course, I did a lot more after that. I started like cold pitching on LinkedIn to get clients, started making connections. I started going on podcasts. I people started recommending me as a copywriter in the main ClickFunnels group. So now I actually get a lot of business through Facebook. Then I started a Facebook group. So I've done all these things that I never would have done if I hadn't taken the One Funnel Away challenge to increase my profile, to make myself more visible. Okay, here's another one I did that I think that was for affiliate marketing. So in my business, I kind of like with the copywriting, I hit a wall. I couldn't make more money with it. My desire was to transform my business completely. External desire, why not shoot big? I want to be a 2 comma club winner. While I was hitting, so this is like more present day stuff. Like this was me the first story I told you was me a year ago. This is kind of today. So my wall is that I just can't work as much as many people do who become successful. Like I have mentors who are like, yeah, I just went hard on affiliate marketing. I went hard on this one thing and I worked 12, 16-hour days and it's a total grind. You got to put in the time, but it's so worth it because it pays off. I'm like, I can't do that. I've got adrenal fatigue. So I really can't get by for long on not much sleep. I mean, because I have a toddler and I have sleep issues, I usually only get 6 hours a night or 6 to 7, but I'm not somebody who can work around the clock. Like my health will kind of give out. So my big kind of wall right now is like, I have limited energy. I can't work around the clock. I have a toddler. I can't work as much as other people. I have to work kind of around my son's schedule. Like right now, all summer long, he's pretty much been in like summer camps, which get out earlier than most daycares or preschools. So I've only had like 6 hours in a day to work, and then I'll work more after he goes to bed, but I'm still like maybe hitting 8 hours. So, progress is just slower. Like you do what you can, right? And maybe you're just not going to ascend as quickly as other people who are working more hours. My epiphany with my business, like for copywriting, was that an email subscription service or any kind of subscription service is much better than online courses because that market is so flooded. So I was trying to decide, like, should I create copywriting courses or should I create some sort of subscription service? So John Bookin's been my mentor with this. He has an awesome subscription service called the Charm Offensive, which is all like the cold email pitches, templates, LinkedIn templates, just a shitload of templates. And he does trainings and courses and ebooks. So you get all of that for like $99 a month. So I decided that that's what I want to work towards. To get there, I need to keep on creating copywriting templates. Like I have a few, I sell them in my funnel. I give them away here in this group for free. Anyone who joins the group gets them. But I need to turn that into more of a like income stream. So my plan for this was to like give myself a little wiggle room, and so to give myself some time, basically buy time, because as a service provider, you're giving up all your time. You're trading dollars for hours. So I need to buy myself time to work on my business, create templates that I can sell, create a monthly subscription service. So my thought was to use affiliate marketing to do that. So not only will it support my own business model, because if I'm selling copywriting services for funnels, if I end up with clients who haven't yet heard of funnels and I kind of sell them on that idea, they're going to need a ClickFunnels account, which they can get through me. Then they're going to need to learn how to use a funnel or how a funnel works. So they're going to need the One Funnel Away challenge. Then maybe they want to write their own copy and stop hiring people like me. So they need funnel scripts. This is all stuff that I could sell them through me. And then I'm just promoting ClickFunnels products on my own time as well to be another income stream. So conflict, again, is too much debt, so I can't buy coachings and courses that I feel like I would benefit from. But, at the same time, like a lot of people say, stop buying courses. Like, how many of us have spent thousands of dollars on courses and then either never go through them or just kind of accumulate knowledge and then never implement anything? So having knowledge is good, but taking action matters a lot more. So my transformation was I started working on my mindset and changing my own false beliefs about money and success. because it's too easy for me to come up with excuses about why I'm not making more money. It's like, I have adrenal fatigue. I can't work around the clock. I have a toddler. I'm broke. I have debt, all these reasons. But if I don't take the time to work on things that are going to make me money later, I'm going to end up on the same hamster wheel. So my first achievement to kind of get me out of this rut was I started doing cold email campaigns to get new clients. So that kind of took some of the pressure off of like feeling like I either had to take low paying gigs through funnel Rolodex or just take whatever came my way. This kind of allowed me to be a little more proactive about it. So that's just one example I wanted to give about the Epiphany Bridge. And before I go into funnel scripts and we do a live demo of how this works, I just want to talk a little bit more about kind of the psychology and the reason behind doing an Epiphany Bridge. Because I think it's important to understand this before you start getting into it. So basically all you're doing with Epiphany Bridge is you are telling your own story in order to sell your product. I feel like a lot of people get stuck on this concept. They think, like, how does telling my sob story about how I was broke and only had $5 to buy ramen noodles to last me all week help me sell my products? Well, it's really not about telling your sob story, but it's just telling like the story of your backstory of what led you to end up creating the product that you created, which will solve a problem because it solved a problem for you, and then getting that out to help other people. So it was funny because the One Funnel Away challenge I did, where I was finally all in and I, stayed with it the whole way through. I had a friend sign on with me, and she really had a huge hang up around this concept of the origin story and sharing your wall and your Epiphany Bridge. Like, she basically just didn't do it. And not only did she not do it, she was like very vocally complaining everywhere about what she called people sharing their tragic porn stories, and wondering why this was a thing, and saying she was seeing it all over LinkedIn. And I saw her post about it on LinkedIn, which I thought was probably not the right place to post that. I saw her post about it in the ClickFunnels official group. So this friend is like very achievement oriented. She's a total goal setter. She's a sticker chart type of person. Like, she got really into fitness a while back, started doing triathlons, and she would just post endlessly on Facebook and show pictures of her sticker charts that she made and like talk about how many calories she ate that day and what she ate. And to me, like, that stuff is so boring. But for somebody who's achievement oriented, they kind of can't not talk about it, right? Because it's all they think about. So she was, very achievement oriented person, but she definitely, you could say that she didn't pay enough attention to her mindset. Like, she never really took the time to think about or talk about the difficulties she overcame, like in her career, and what she did to get past it. Because she moved to out of San Francisco to a smaller city, like a mountain town, and started working for herself, because that really was the best option. Like, you can't just move to the mountains and get a VP of PR job, which is what she had before. So she started her own business, but she had to go through what all of us go through as new entrepreneurs, which is to figure out what the heck you're doing, how to find your dream clients, how to best serve them. And, a lot of that was, she was averse to online marketing. She thought it was all cheesy and spammy, which is funny because that's kind of the same way I always thought about sales. So she had a hang up there. So, going through the OFA helped her like kind of get through all that. So she never talked about her difficulties, but in any personal story she did share about herself were basically humble brags. So she talked about how she was the face of a popular gaming product early on in her PR career, how she worked with these household names like people in famous bands, and how she had a searchable CV. So her origin story that ended up on her funnel was all about this. So I remember reading it and thinking, okay, no one is going to give a shit about your searchable CV. Like, sorry, nobody cares that you work for these big brands. Like, I worked for big brands too, but I never even thought of mentioning that on my funnel or like in my marketing about it. I mean, yeah, I did end up adding some logos of like past clients I'd worked for that were big, because I mean, that made sense in the context of what I was selling. But I don't go around telling everybody I worked for Sony. I was the face of PlayStation Home or whatever, like, because nobody cares. What I focused on talking about was my whole entrepreneurial journey and how I didn't fit. I was like a misfit in the corporate mainstream work world, and how my whole life I felt like I never fully fit in, and that I was an outlier, and that entrepreneurship ended up really being the only path for me. And actually, I'll share my screen with you right now because I'm kind of looking at my own funnel right now where I talk about this. So yeah, you can see here. So this is my section, and I'm still editing it. I've got my photo. And at the top, I kind of get into this right at the top. So I start relating myself to people that I'm selling my solution to, which is to help them launch. Because what happens if people get stuck on all the hows and who's about launching, and then they end up never doing it. So that's why my hook at the top says, when you wait to launch until everything is done and perfect, you might end up never launching at all. So I'm basically saying, let me take this massive part of your launch off your plate. I'll write all the copy and I'll tell your story for you so that you can just focus on, you know, finishing your product and getting it out to the world. So I'm talking about how I was in the same boat as I think my dream clients are in right now. Like maybe they're burnt out from trading dollars for hours. They're trying to transform their business. Maybe they, you know, decided they wanted to transform their business, but they didn't know how they were going to do it. So that led to them creating their course that they're selling. They didn't know how to reach their dream customers. Felt like they would never figure out how to create a business they loved. So right away, I'm like setting the stage for how like I understand where they're coming from, which hopefully will make them want to hire me, right? Then if you go down here to, I'm just going to check StreamYard to make sure you're seeing this. Yes, you are. Okay. Go down here to where I have my headshot. I go into my whole story, and you can see it's pretty long. It's a pretty big block of text, and I'm just in the process right now of taking sections and highlighting them. This was a suggestion I got from Sherry, actually, when she audited my funnel, because people love to skim. I mean, this is why you see these huge scrolling sales letters, which seem crazy to anyone who's learned anything about like marketing copy. Usually it's like, how can I get people's attention with as few words as possible and as succinctly as possible? You know, tagline is like 6 words, right? Or 3 words, or, you know, just do it is a tagline. How can I distill my entire business into as little copy as possible? But it's different when you're selling something in a funnel, because people actually like to see a block of text, even if they're not going to read this whole thing. They want to be convinced. They want to see a lot of reasons why they should buy your product. They want to kind of be wooed by you a little bit. They want to have all of their questions answered. That's why, like, I have a section of my funnel which is just frequently asked questions, where I'm basically anticipating what all their objections would be and just answering it right here. So anyway, back to my origin story, which was created off my Epiphany Bridge script. I've just taken sections and highlighted them so anyone can skim this. So I still need to do this over here, but I just wanted to show you that, like, how this looks in real life. And now that we've gone over that background, I want to actually go into funnel scripts and create a sample Epiphany Bridge with you. So, but just to give a little more backstory about why the Epiphany Bridge matters. So I feel like, you know, the mindset stuff we did in week 0 can feel annoying or irrelevant to a lot of people because they don't understand, like, it just seems like a bunch of fluff. Like, when am I going to get into the meat of this? But I think now is when you see how it comes into play. So for mindset, we were challenged to, like, look at our self-limiting beliefs and make sure our heads were in the right space, because the One Funnel Way challenge is very intense and very demanding. And you have to believe that you're going to succeed and that you will finish. Otherwise, you might not get through the challenge. But how that also comes into play is you're going to take all those self-limiting beliefs and all those doubts, and you're going to use that. You're going to tap into that when you are creating your Epiphany Bridge and your origin story, because you're going to use this story to sell. And selling is serving. So if you have a good product and truly believe that whatever you're selling solves a problem for somebody, then it's really your duty to sell it. And you don't have to do this in a salesy way. You just need to use your own stories. So that's what today's mission and tomorrow's mission are all about. We're being taught how to tell our stories. And honestly, I think this is so cool, because this is a concept that I think anyone could understand and use in their own lives. So typically, whatever you're selling is solving a problem for somebody. So go back and think back to what was the problem that you were having that led to you creating this solution. It was probably a problem you're having yourself, and it's a problem you created for or a solution you created for yourself, or it was a problem you kept seeing all of your clients have, and so you decided to create something to address that. Sorry, I'm just closing the blinds because I'm getting a lot of sun. So, and also going back to Russell's point about how people don't spend money because of logic. They spend money because of emotion. You want to buy because it makes you feel good, right? Whether you're buying new clothes or buying a course, you're doing something because it's going to make you feel differently than you do at this moment. So we're talking about state control, like whatever story you're telling that's going to get people to buy your offer. What you're trying to do is get people to feel the same way you felt when you had your epiphany. So that's why this is so important. So you're bringing them on a journey with you. A sales funnel is just a journey. And marketing is all about creating belief. So we're making people believe that this is the right vehicle to get them where they want to go. So one other thing I want to talk about that Russell discussed before I get into the funnel script building is something he calls the Big Domino. And this is in his book, Expert Secrets. And all this is figuring out what is the one big thing that is in the way of my customer that's preventing them from taking action right now. And if I could get them to believe this one big thing, I could get them to believe, and I could get them to believe in it, then all their beliefs will become irrelevant. All their doubts will fall away. So we're going to see how this looks now with the funnel script. And I'm going to share my screen again. And by the way, this is another reason why funnel scripts is brilliant. If you have any inclination to get it, I highly recommend it. And I'll put our link below in the comments so you can get it. Okay. Of course now, okay, here we go. So now I'm going to go into Funnel Scripts tool. Now they have, you see over here, there's a Epiphany Bridge script, which is a very, very long version. But I figured we're not going to have time to do all that right now. I actually have to jump off in about 10 minutes and go pick up my husband. So I'm just going to do the quick version, but you can see there's all these questions to go through. You're going to scroll all the way down this page. There's a ton of stuff, but it's very thorough and it's very good if you do want to do the long version. But for this training, we're going to do the short version. Now I just got to find where that is again. And where was that? I might need to do a search. Here we go. Epiphany Bridge script. This is under OFA scripts, by the way, so they have got a ton of stuff that is specific for OFA, which is amazing. That's weird. I'm not seeing the short version. I think it might be that I have to click on it. Let me see. I'll just do a search on the page. Here we go, short. Okay, so that was also under Expert Secrets. So we're going to go through this together real quick. Okay, so for this Epiphany Bridge, I'm going to pretend like I'm building a funnel for my affiliate marketing business, which actually was my intention with this challenge, and I have not started because I've had no time. I think I could still do it, but we're going to talk about what led me to get into affiliate marketing. So, backstory, identity. I was you talk about, the situation you were in when you started doing this. I'm going to say struggling business owner. Backstory, struggle could be like, at the time I was trying to X. So I'll just copy that exactly. No, actually, I don't think I need to write that whole thing. I was trying to create new income streams, which is very true. Was something external blocking you from your desire? So as an examples, they say making only a few dollars a day from my website. I'm going to say struggling with getting enough client work to pay the bills, because you can only take on so many client projects, right? That's why I need another stream of income. What happened that caused you to finally hit the wall? This is a good one, because I don't know if there was one thing. I'll say like, I realized that nothing would change. I'll say I realized that I'd be stuck in the same rut until I figured something else out. I mean, what did hitting the wall mean for you here? Negative. Hitting the wall in this case meant that I'd always be struggling financially. Number one consequence of what hitting the wall meant. Okay, if I'm struggling financially, there could be a lot of consequences. I'm never paying off debt. I'm never going on vacations. I'm never like saving money for my son's college. So I'll just say the wall actually, I'm going to say kept me in debt. What was the epiphany event for you? Luckily for me, that's when I blank and everything changed. I'll say discovered, or no, because I already knew about affiliate marketing. I'll say became a ClickFunnels affiliate. Because although I knew about the ClickFunnels affiliate program, of course, I didn't really start making affiliate sales until the One Funnel Away Challenge. And it was just a natural thing because I was so excited about it. And I was just so into it when I was doing it. And I was, talking about it everywhere on my social channels. And my friends, first it started with my friends because I was kind of just link barfing, right? They started to pay attention, and they're the first people who signed on with me. So what did this epiphany event reveal to you? That I could help others and myself by introducing them to ClickFunnels. It's really ClickFunnels products, so I'll say that. What was the big how revealed to you in the epiphany? It was made clear to me how to build relationships in a mutually beneficial way, because that's what affiliate marketing is, right? What did this big how to reveal mean to you? Discovering this how-to secret. Oh, I see. What does this big how-to reveal mean to you? Discovering this how-to secret meant I could start making money quickly. A plan. What was the first thing you planned to do? My plan was to start, a Facebook group, because I was being mentored by Alex Elliott at the time. I was a moderator in her group, and she talked all the time about how one of the best ways to succeed in affiliate marketing was through a Facebook group, where you're serving and you're giving value every day, and you're creating a tribe of loyal group members who like, know, and trust you. So the plan was the first action you took. So I started, before I started the group, I kept signing on for the One Funnel Away Challenge to kind of keep growing my network and making connections. I kept signing up for the OFA. The plan, what was the next action you took? I then started a OFA challenge Facebook support group. Plan, what was the final big action you took? I started making offers in the group. So like this started with Sherry and I were offering to do funnel audits for people for a fee because it's something we both know how to do really well. And then we built our bridge page funnel for the OFA and came up with our bonus stack. So that was kind of the second big action. When the plan came together, what did you decide? Well, that's kind of still being developed, but we decided to create an irresistible bonus stack and coach people through the OFA. So that's what we're doing right now. What was the name of the solution you created? Well, I'll just say OFA Challenge Coaching and Bonuses. I mean, it's not like an elegant name, but there we go. Achievement. What amazing dream outcome did you achieve? Well, we grew our group and started getting lots of new people to sign up under us. And that's where we are today. And we love it and it's amazing. So now all I do is click build. I'm just checking something real quick. Build, and here we go. Here's my short Epiphany Bridge script. So there I was, a struggling business owner trying to create new income streams. The thing is, at the time, I was getting enough client work to pay the bills. The big problem was that I realized that I'd be stuck in the same rut until I figured something else out. That meant that I'd always be struggling financially, which kept me in debt. Then, as if by chance, something amazing happened. I became a ClickFunnels affiliate so I could help others and myself by introducing them to ClickFunnels products. Okay, so you can see the whole thing here. And I think it's great. You know, it's like, makes sense reading it. And that was just with a script. But I think what I would do with this now is really like make it super engaging, make it like a really compelling read and like add some stuff and just like create more of a flow with it. So that's why funnel scripts is great, because you can get a raw script, but then I think it's helpful if you do more with it. So another thing you can do that I just found out from Jim Edwards is you can immediately save this as a document. You could actually use this document to, you know, start formatting it and adding images. And I could even like create this, turn this into a little ebook if I wanted to. But yeah, that just makes sure that I saved it. So that's it. I actually have to jump off so I can go pick up my husband. And I hope this demonstration was helpful, guys. And I hope you really have fun building your Epiphany Bridge scripts. It's really fun. And if anybody, it's fun, and it's also like kind of cathartic, right? Like you might have an epiphany or two while you do it. If anyone wants to share their Epiphany Bridge with this group, or just you want to direct message me or Sherry to get some feedback, we'd be more than happy to help you out. And happy writing, guys. And we'll see you tomorrow to talk about the origin story. All right, have a good day.